Come get your money. Paylake Carp fishing with Donald Barrow.
Donald got the top of that hour with a 29 wood. You'll come get your money.
Hey everybody, it's Donald Barrow. Wanted to tell a quick little story. Little incident happened on Saturday, and I'll just get into it. After the draw, and I was fishing pops, absolutely having a great time. Everybody introducing the new people. I'm just happy. And of all things, they had a pretty close to packed lake, and I expected a horrible draw. If you don't know what a draw is, when you go to a carp tournament, you draw. You're putting a bag, a number. You're given a number, and they draw out those numbers, and it's a lottery. You first pick gets to choose his favorite spot on the lake. There's probably around 50 spots. Everybody stands around as they draw. One thing I do, it's not unusual. There's always a few people that do this, is they draw out as partners. I have a partner who hadn't been fishing in 4 months, 5 months, and wasn't sure how good he was going to pack the bait, because it requires quite a bit of strength in your hands, and he had some serious issues and medical problems with that. And so, of course, and as usual, you want to fish next to your buddy. You go with somebody and you're like, if you don't, draw out, you'd be on a totally different pond. So it's not unusual for me to draw out with my fishing buddy. And of all things, and this has never happened at Pops, is I drew first. I drew out first. My fishing buddy actually went to the car early, because he was like, well, it'll be a long time before we draw, because knowing our normal average, and it just isn't Pops, Big Daddies too, Alice, Carlton's, we draw. I get horrible draws, but it's just the way it goes. When you walk around the lake, when you're planning where you're going to be before the draw, I go with a lot of contingencies, because it's like, well, if I got an early draw, I'd go over here. If all those spots are gone, I'd go over here, and, plan B, plan C, I'm all the way up to X, Y, and Z usually, but that's the way it goes. Well, it's not great. So I'm walking back to the car, and I see a big guy passing me by, walking fast, and he's talking on the phone, and he's obviously upset, really upset, profanity upset, that he was like the third or fourth drawn out, and I guess the first two, or a couple of us, were partners, so that really takes up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe so spots. So even though he got an early draw, the perceived good spots were gone, and he was mad, and he let out a couple of F-bombs. One, he looked right at me. I perceived, and said it. Fishing partners, wasn't happy, and it shocked me. I'll be honest. I was like, me, the most liked guy at the lake? No, but I was like, he can't be talking to me. And I was just shocked, and I just went to my truck and parked, and we went and set up on the spot we drawn, and lo and behold, this big guy was next to my partner. And I gotta be honest, I was fuming. I was fuming, and I knew it affected me a little bit, because I was like packing the bait like an idiot to get ready to throw out, because I didn't tell anybody. I was just mad, and all kinds of thoughts went down through my mind. I was like, oh, he's a big guy, but I'm mad. I'm gonna give him a piece of my mind, and if it comes to it, we're gonna go. I was raised in South Detroit, south of Detroit. There's no South Detroit, south of Detroit. And, I swear I was a 16-year-old in my mind, you know, and I didn't care because this guy was big and young and I knew I'd probably get pummeled, but not in my mind. In my mind, I was going to, you know, I was going to do some damage. I was not happy. And honestly, I think it was mostly because it was a carp lake that I'm comfortable with. The fishermen I'm comfortable with. They're all good people. And um, they are. I just never have trouble. And I'm not alone. It's seldom do you have trouble at a carp pond. They're just good people. Fishermen, you know. A judge once said he'd never sent a youth, had a youth in front of him, a juvenile offender, who had a fishing rod or a fishing license. And I believe that sticks with me. And I'll be honest, I was sitting there at my rod, and you know, I was in my mind talking to the Lord, going. And then once I did that, he probably tapped me on the shoulder. I didn't tap him, but yeah, it's calm down, have some grace. Uh, the next thing you know, he's catching a fish, and he's alone, and I grabbed the net. Actually, I said, "Hey, Danny, my brother-in-law, net that fish." We went over and netted the fish, and he turned around and thanked me, had a big smile, and said, "Hey, Donald, I watched you on YouTube." You know, the rest of the day, and then I seen his wife or girlfriend or somebody else, and family friends come around, and he's just a happy-go-lucky guy, and I mistook everything, I guess, or you know, you know, it just turns that way. It turned from a negative to a positive, and I was so grateful, and if you're turning in for a lesson, I guess is have some patience and take a breath. Uh, I guess listen to the Lord too. I'm not going to leave him out of the equation, but just want that. I'm not big on life lessons and giving people life lessons. I give carp bait recipes and carp fishing recipes, but I just wanted to share. It was on my mind, on my heart is the cool thing to say, but it was there and I wanted to share it. Thank you, everybody. If you enjoyed my video, please like and subscribe, and thank you. Appreciate it.